I am going to imagine that every one of you really aspire to live a wonderful life. As a social scientist, with the studies that have been engaged to produce a certain picture, along with the 75 years that I've had to experience life on this planet, I've seen and heard about it all. And everywhere there is turmoil, some worse than others. I'm sorry that I have to always talk about things like this, but if I want to talk about making things better, I gotta first be able to admit the reality of how screwed up it is presently. And it is really messed up. But without going through all of this history, we have just witnessed a gentleman who says that he is willing to kill people, American citizens, for disagreeing with him. Willing and ready to kill people for exposing the lies that he has told. And a criminal at best. And yet over a third, perhaps a half of the nation chooses to walk side by side with one such as this. And no doubt it is because walking on the other side has failed. And so they are hoping that this deceiver, that this liar will be blessing them, even though to bless them means that it would have to cause enough pain and suffering on the other side. But that gives me the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, of coming to you and telling you that I offer you God. I know we have had God presented to us in such crazy ways till we just don't want to believe in God anymore. And I can understand that. And the only reason that I can sit here or do anything when I do it in relationship to God is because of miracles that have occurred to me. Miracles that I won't even explain to you because it would mean nothing to you. I'm sure many of you have had your own miracles and couldn't identify it as that, because that means you would have to acknowledge that there's a power, a good power, a great power, a wonderful power that loves you. And you can't do that, not just yet, because you're taught something different. However, I want to reaffirm to those of you who are familiar and can acknowledge that there is a power that is responsible for the entire earth. If you've listened to any of my other videos, you've probably heard it before, but I don't mind mentioning it again. That's responsible for all of the resources on this earth, that has made us as human beings with common attributes, requiring certain things that are common, having certain desires that are common. And giving us the motivation, the guidance to be able to extract from those resources that which we have determined is absolutely necessary for us to have our peace and our prosperity and our freedom and our joy and our happiness, and to live our dreams with our needs, our wants, and our desires being met, and suffering for nothing, like food, clothing, shelter, education, health care. Hell, we've always made those things, and we continuously make those things, but now made by people who enjoy every aspect of the work, giving them, whoever it is doing that particular work, the greatest joy that could ever be given. And this is their participation in ownership of all the stuff that is made, that we the people, all of us participating, now are part owners of everything that exists. So we don't need to be indebted to anybody. We are not indebted to anybody. We own partly everything. And so we can be free from any obligation to any thing outside of that which we obligate to ourselves as a nation of people, expressing a respect for the power that we can't see, over prejudice, over racism, over bigotry, over poverty, over crime, over violence, over lying, over cheating. We choose God over all of that. And by doing so, we have our needs, our wants, and our desires met. This is what I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm basically talking to those who are common people like me. You see, we got intelligentsia standing out there taking care of that. People everywhere are upset about what has gone on. They didn't expect this to happen, and they don't like it. And they are thinking politically, I'm sure. But what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is going beyond that, because it is politics that brought us here. It is the denial of justice that brought us to this point. It is that which has allowed the most evil possibilities to exist. It is that is challenging us today to see whether we will go further that way or whether we will try to keep from going anywhere by standing our ground. Or will we be wise enough to expect that God to give us a break, to come through for us? Just a moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we can't afford to go and act that way any longer. We know that people are evil. We know what they will do. And so rather than play about any of that, we're going to give them God. We're going to give them a whole blast of God. That means, ladies and gentlemen, just let me state it one more time. Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, infrastructure, going to the moon, going around up there, flying away in the sky. Anything that's made by the hands of man, these are given for the benefit of humankind all over the earth. It is not made and it is not given for somebody to exploit by making money off of it. It has been given to you by God, the invisible power. And these people have come up with systems that rob you. You know, like you've inherited something, and before you get the chance to hear the wheel red or something, somebody goes by and finds some way to take half of it away from you, or to take it all and then reap the wheel and you got nothing. That is what has happened throughout human existence. And the people on the top are always the ones that have done it. They've always made themselves the top dogs. They made themselves the one that's divinely blessed. They've made themselves with the authority. And we, the people, have always accepted it because these were willing to kill to force it. And we weren't willing to kill. And we just say, well, maybe they'll get it right. We'll help them get it right. And we've never gotten it right. And we're never gonna get it right. Only thing we can do as far as righteousness is concerned is to always do the right thing. Always do the right thing. And what is the right thing? One more time. Is that every human being on the face of the earth should never suffer anything for a lack of food. Not a human being on the face of the earth anywhere. Not a human being on the face of the earth anywhere should ever suffer a lack of shelter, housing, whatever it requires. No human being on the face of the earth, this we must guarantee. No human being on the face of the earth should be denied basic freedom. This we must assure, that no one will suffer this. No one should be denied education. No, under no circumstance should anybody be denied any education that they pursue or want or desire. And we, the people, must guarantee that no one suffers or lack thereof. Same thing for health care. All of those things that men do, everything that you look around you and do. Some of the things you've done many times, some of these things you look around you have never done in your life, never even thought you might be able to do. But now, because you're changing the system that we have right now creates a situation for some people to be filthy, filthy rich. Some of them you can even call the richest man on earth. One man, the richest man on earth. Should be a curse. But he walked with his chest out. People hold him up as being somebody. A curse. A white man, the richest person on earth. Now, this isn't required. I mean, whatever he does or can do with all of that money, each and every last one of you can do in what you are given to do. Just likewise, money is not required. Just loving it and a system designed to produce it. With the guy having this money, the richest man on earth, what else does it bring? It brings poverty. Because people trying to get all they can get and give nothing back. And the folks lost, they don't know what to do. They've been propagandized and lied to. So here they are, helpless. But this is the way the system works. It is designed to do that. And in the fixed, in the mess, hatred, racism, all that stuff comes out of this. Crime and violence, all of that stuff comes out of this. But with God, hey, everybody participates with the free stuff that God has given for the freedom of life. And everybody's smiling. Except if there's some bully who wants to start lying. If there's some bully who wants to start deceiving the people must be ready to kick him to the side. They kick him to the side, because if you don't kick it to the side, it will catch root. And once it catch root, it will spread. And once it spread, so take heed, all right? All right.